Yukito, over here! Saki called out. She was already in the corner of the room, where a gap beside a pillar led to a small passage. We hurried down it, reaching an intersection where we decided to split up. Saki went left, I went right. My passage ended on a hill behind the temple. I'd chosen correctly. Oda was running down the hill, Tadashi slung over his shoulder like a sack of rice. He wasn't getting away, not on my watch. I knocked an arrow, aiming for Oda's neck. The arrow flew, hitting its mark with a thud. 4 more followed, finding their mark in his stomach. Oda stumbled to his knees, then collapsed. I rushed over, pulling Tadashi free and laying him down gently. His ribs weren't broken, but they looked agonizing. The bandage on his left shoulder was soaked through. A fresh burn mark seared onto his right chest, glowing faintly red like Oda's fire. No fireplace in the basement to create such a brand, but Oda's fire techniques. 3 straight lines intersected by a wavy line. Fun, the symbol commonly used by traders to brand their slaves. Damn it. I grabbed Tadashi's wrist. My breath hitched, my stomach churned. I couldn't feel his pulse. His vital signs were weak, fading. I had to perform CPR. Fortunately, Master Toya had drilled the basic skill into us. I tilted Tadashi's head back, checking for breath. Nothing. My heart pounded in my chest. I started compressions hard and fast. Come on, still nothing. 2 rescue breaths, then more compressions. His ribs cracked, then broke. My vision blurred with tears, but I kept going. Come on, Tadashi, don't leave me alone, please. Another rescue breath, and suddenly he coughed. Thank God! Relief washed over me. Tadashi gasped, tears streaming down his face. I gripped his hand. Easy, I whispered, my voice shaking. I'm here. We're safe. I jumped up as someone approached. Saki. How is he? Saki asked, coming closer, blood splattered on her cheek. We knelt on either side of Tadashi. His eyes were closed, but he was breathing shallowly. Saki's expression changed as she examined him. Oda broke his ribs? Saki asked, opening her medicine pouch. I shook my head, removing Tadashi's shoulder bandage. Saki handed me hers, and I quickly rebandaged the wound. They broke during CPR. Saki winced, taking out a medicine ampoule. I helped her check his vital signs. Antibiotics, painkillers, and IV drip. I cut my underkimono into strips, wrapping them around Tadashi's chest. The night was cold. My kimono and haori became a makeshift blanket to ward off shock. Saki tilted Tadashi's body in case he vomited. He needs a doctor. Follow this path to the village at the foot of the mountain. We can get horses there. Saki wiped her sweat, frowning. We're still too close to the temple. Will they search here? Who was chasing him? I shrugged. The Koga attacked the temple. They said Tadashi stole a bracelet from their headquarters. The Ishikawa were after it for the king's reward. I don't know about the Mitsurugi. Saki frowned. The king's antique bracelet? Yes? You know it? Saki scrutinized Tadashi, then looked back at me, considering. It amplifies power in dark rituals. If the Mitsurugi infiltrated the Koga headquarters too, they'd want it. How do you know so much? Saki looked guilty. There's something I need to tell you, Yukito. Damn it, was she after the bracelet too? A horse and rider burst from the trees. I spun around, sigh raised. Saki already had her naginata at the ready. Well, the rider dismounted. Found what we're looking for? Sadi. Princess Fuma, Sadi sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. Hanging out with this lot? Who are you? What do you want? Saki growled. Sadi gave a mocking bow. Sadi of the Masamune clan, princess. Leader of Tadashi's mission. Surprise flickered across Saki's face. Isn't Tadashi's position higher than yours? Sadi scowled. I'm the deputy heir. I replace him if he's incapacitated. The elders didn't want a child leading this mission. Another ninja arrived on horseback, dismounting beside Sadi. The Mitsurugi are here, he reported. We should have dealt with them at the Koga headquarters. Now they're chasing the bracelet. Shh. Let them fight the Koga, Sadi said dismissively. Our business is done. Take the traitor. I frowned. What do you mean? Sadi grinned cruelly. Hand over Tadashi, or be arrested for protecting a traitor. He's not a traitor, I snarled. I won't let you take him, Saki added, her voice unwavering. Don't interfere with other clans' internal affairs, Sadi snapped, his patience wearing thin. He's under my protection, Saki retorted. Her gaze locked on Sadi. Fine. Ichida! Sadi gestured to his companion. Saki and Ichida clashed, moving away from us. Sadi circled me, his gaze fixed on Tadashi. Tisk, tisk. What did you do to him, Raito? Damn him. Did he have to reveal my identity like that? That cockroach has always been annoying. I growled, remembering a long ago incident. On the orders of the clan elders, Sadi had once stayed at our house. He often deliberately provoked me. Small things always led to fights. I don't remember what we were arguing about back then, but he slapped me. Tadashi wasn't home, but Shiro taught Sadi a lesson that day. Step aside, Pinworm. Are you asking for another beating? Sadi snarled. I stood my ground, refusing to move. I didn't know if Oda had managed to get the bracelet's location, but since he was still trying to take Tadashi away, I figured he hadn't gotten the information he wanted. He's not a traitor. I kicked Oda's corpse. He didn't tell this flea anything. Sadi laughed, a harsh, mocking sound. You think I don't know? Tadashi wouldn't reveal anything to the enemy. He's under a speech seal. My stomach suddenly clenched. What are you talking about? Sadi continued. Don't tell me you don't know how paranoid our clan is. Tadashi learned too much at clan meetings. The elders didn't like security risk, so they sealed him. You're lying, I said, shaking my head. Tadashi could break any seal. You don't understand. The speech seal is unbreakable, just a keyword from the elders, and he can't tell anyone anything. If you force it, Sadi drew a finger across his throat. The seal ruptures his brain. The elders would rather a clan member die than reveal secrets. I knew that, but the thought of Tadashi enduring that torture, unable to speak. Then why are you accusing him of being a traitor? I growled. Our mission was to bring the bracelet back to headquarters. He violated protocol. He was supposed to hand it over to Toru or Ichida. Toru infiltrated with him. Ichida was supposed to return it to headquarters. But he killed Toru and ran. Wait, this Toru guy infiltrated with Tadashi and was killed? Toru's the spy you were looking for. He's Oda's brother from the Ishikawa clan. Sadi frowned. Toru's been working in the meeting hall, recording and distributing mission papers. He stopped abruptly, as if realizing something. I could guess what it was. The mission was a trap. Toru, with his position, could manipulate mission instructions, creating discord. He could manipulate Sadi into forcing Tadashi to hand over the bracelet. There might already be accomplices at headquarters waiting to take the bracelet from the storage room. Oh. I looked towards Saki and Ichida. Ichida, Toru's accomplice. Tadashi must have realized something was wrong, killed Toru, and ran off with the bracelet. Sadi growled. Ha, that's just an assumption. You have no proof, do you? I don't care. Let the elders investigate. Now move. Tadashi doesn't have the damn bracelet, I shouted, blocking Sadi's path. The Ishikawa already searched him and didn't find anything. Sadi's eyes narrowed. Then I'll make him tell me where it is. You have no right hurt him. Shut up, Sadi snapped. I'm the leader of this mission. I have the right to demand the bracelet. I can, and I will decide his role. If I want him to surrender to the enemy as bait for the sake of the mission, he has to obey my orders. You. So you told him to infiltrate as a slave. The words were bitter in my mouth. Sadi glanced at the slave brand on Tadashi's chest. I clenched my fists, anger surging through me. It was the scouting team's recommendation, Sadi shrugged. But the elders agreed. A fitting role, wouldn't you say? He's had practice. My head throbbed. What do you mean? I hissed. Remember when he disappeared 3 years ago? Sadi smirked, enjoying my confusion. I froze. The mission that made him leave me and Shiro? A cold dread washed over me. He made a mistake. Angered everyone, including your father. They thought he didn't understand the responsibility of a clan leader. Want to know his punishment? My stomach churned. A mistake? Tadashi? Impossible. He always obeyed father and the clan without question. Sadi continued, relishing my unease. He stayed in the compound, disguised. Couldn't go home, couldn't see you or Shiro. His daily task was serving every clan member. Of course, he was also required to stay at my house for a few days. Good times. Father made sure he know his place as a servant. Sadi smiled, a cruel twist of his lips. The speech seal ensured he could never tell anyone how much he suffered during that time. Pain pierced my heart like a shard of ice. All those unanswered questions about his missions. And what did I do? I'd rejected him as my brother, adding to his pain. Arr! I lashed out with my sigh. Rage and regret fueled me. Sadi laughed, drawing his sword and parrying my attack. His counterattack was a blur of force. My hand ached. Damn it. I'd miscalculated. My sai was useless against his kodachi. He might be a less skilled swordsman than Tadashi, but his strength was overwhelming. There was only one way to defeat him. I feigned an attack, letting him slam me against a tree. His fingers tightened around my neck, choking me. I clawed at his hands, unable to breathe. "Stupid, like your brother," Sadi sneered, his voice a venomous whisper in my ear. If I could breathe, I would have laughed, but my chest was constricted, and I was sick of his taunts. I just smirked and grabbed his wrists. "Void strike, ha!" Sadi screamed as his bones cracked. His sword clattered to the ground. I punched him, swept his legs out, and flipped him over, pinning him down. "I want to crush every bone in your body," I said coldly, "but I'm in a hurry. Know how many people I've killed this way?" Sadi shook his head, his eyes wide with terror. I was bluffing, but he didn't need to know that. "Raito, don't!" Tadashi's weak voice stopped me. I turned sharply. He was awake, looking at me pleadingly. "He's not at fault," he rasped. "Just doing his job." I glared at Sadi. "Shh, you're lucky," I hissed. I gripped Sadi's ribs, then calling Void Strike on him. Sadi's eyes widened in pain, and he fainted. I knelt beside Tadashi, taking his cold hand. His pulse was weak. "Don't leave me, okay?" I choked out. "You promised." Tadashi looked at me for a long moment, his gaze intense. His voice was hoarse when he answered. "I won't leave you, Raito." The medicine was starting to work. I was helping Tadashi sit up when Saki arrived, holding a wig. "It seems Ichida wasn't your teammate's real identity," she said, annoyed, tossing the wig near Sadi. "He's dead now." Tadashi nodded weakly. "It's all right, Fuma. Sorry for the trouble." Saki sighed, taking something from her pouch. "We have unfinished business, Masamune," she said seriously. "The king sent my clan to retrieve the bracelet." I gritted my teeth. So she was after the bracelet too. Saki handed Tadashi a scroll bearing the royal seal. He read it, his expression relieved. The royal seal, she was telling the truth, so Tadashi's mission was to steal the bracelet and deliver it to the king's envoy. Tadashi then bent his knee and reached for the shackle on his left leg, opening the seal on it. Clank! The leg shackle sprang open. Tadashi pulled it off and revealed a bracelet hidden inside. "When you said you were doing a mission, I suspected you were the contact mentioned by my informant," Saki said, taking the bracelet. "You were supposed to arrive Thursday morning. I was about to report failure, but thankfully Yukito brought me back to the forest." Tadashi flushed. "Apologies. I was delayed at Koga headquarters. I only arrived here Thursday night. I'm glad everything ended." "Well," Saki smiled as she sealed the bracelet in her medicine pouch. Tadashi sealed the scroll in his shackle. "I have to get this to the king quickly. Thank you for your help. I'll be going now," Saki said, giving us a brief nod before turning to leave. "Wait," I said. "You should take Sadi's horse." Saki shook her head. "You need it more. Don't worry, I have contacts in the village. Safe travels, Masamune, Yukito." She bowed to Tadashi and left. I turned to Tadashi, who was still struggling to sit up. He needed help with Sadi and Ichida's bodies. I secured them onto Ichida's horse, attaching a lead. Tadashi couldn't ride with his broken ribs, so I helped him onto Sadi's horse and sat behind him. "Lean on me," I said. "Tell me if you need to stop." Tadashi nodded weakly, his face pale. Then we started for home. After finishing my duties in the communal kitchen, I headed straight to the hospital. Tadashi and Sadi were being punished for the mission's failure. No visitors allowed for 2 weeks, and even after that, a restricted list. I'd protested vehemently to Father. I was guilty of attacking Sadi, though I didn't regret it. A month in the kitchen was fair enough. But Tadashi nearly died. He'd disobeyed Sadi because he was following the elders' orders. Why did they have to punish him too? Father simply said the elders gave Tadashi 2 choices: 2 weeks of confinement in the hospital or 2 weeks as a prisoner in solitary confinement. In the end, I kept silent, knowing I couldn't win this argument. The thing was, they'd put that jerk Sadi in the same room. I'd been kicked out from the hospital yesterday for arguing with him. I took a deep breath, bracing myself for another confrontation. But Sadi's bed was empty. I froze. With broken ribs, he should be here for another month. Missing Sadi? Tadashi's voice startled me. I coughed as I sat down. "Don't be ridiculous," I scoffed. "Just surprised he's not here. Where is he?" "He went home last night," Tadashi said, his voice still weak. "Good riddance." "He was waiting for you," Tadashi said, smiling faintly. "Bored to death, I think. I rarely responded to him. He was happy to chat with you yesterday." "Chat with him? He constantly insulted you in front of me and threatened to reveal my identity." Tadashi chuckled. "That's just how he is. He likes provoking people. The angrier you get, the more he enjoys it. He won't reveal your identity. Father made that clear. Good. I don't want to be kicked out again. I'm a little worried. He's barely able to sit. He should have stayed here until he fully recovers. His parents are divorced, and they don't have any servants. No one's going to take care of him at home. I just shook my head. He's 21. Why do you care? Tadashi shrugged. I've stayed at his house. I know how his father is. Sadi's words from that night came back to me, and my mood instantly soured. They tortured you there, didn't they? My voice was tight. Tadashi blinked. I stayed there a few times. It wasn't pleasant, but they just gave me a lot of work. They didn't beat you at all? I asked, incredulous. Tadashi hesitated. He was silent for a moment, then he said carefully, Sadi's father has a temper. He slapped Sadi and me a few times because we kept fighting or didn't finish our work, but he didn't beat me. Well, maybe you just couldn't tell anyone because you were under the speech seal, I said, narrowing my eyes, suspicion still lingering. Tadashi paled, his eyes widening in alarm. You know? Sadi told me, I replied curtly, my heart sinking as the reality of it hit me. So they did beat you? Tadashi shook his head. There's nothing to worry about, Raito, he said softly. As always, Tadashi gave me a smile to reassure me, but I never really know the truth he hid behind that smile. I turned away, my head throbbing. The speech seal. Sadi said the elders had placed that damn seal on Tadashi shortly after he was appointed as the clan heir. I'm sorry, I whispered. I didn't know about the seal and It's okay, Raito, Tadashi said, taking my hand. I'm the one who should apologize. I swallowed, trying to find the words to express the suffocating emotions in my chest. I always said I didn't care if you died, I said, the words tumbling out. But when you were shot, when Oda hurt you, I realized that I didn't want you to get hurt, let alone die. I wanted to understand why you left. Tadashi was quiet for a moment. I didn't want to leave you and Shiro, Tadashi said, his voice heavy with regret. But I had to do my duty, and the elders placed all my missions under the speech seal. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you anything all this time. When you were gone, my throat tightened. Did you ever think about us? Because I thought about you every day. It was hell. Tadashi reached out and squeezed my hand. Raito, I raised you after Mother died. You followed me everywhere, loved me unconditionally. You always looked at me like I was your hero. His voice thickened with emotion. A bittersweet smile touched his lips. When I came home tired or sick, your jokes and laughter chased away my problems. Your presence brightened my day. Your happiness was my happiness. I squeezed his hand back, my heart aching. I missed you every day, he continued softly, his eyes glistened with tears. When things got bad, memories of you kept me going. I told myself I had to get through it so I could see your smile again. Tadashi took a deep breath, composing himself. I'm sorry, Raito. My absence caused you so much pain. If I could bear your burden, I would take all your pain away. I hurt you, Raito. There's nothing I can do to change that. But if you allow me... His voice choked, his gaze pleading, vulnerable. His face paled like it always did whenever I was harsh towards him. He swallowed hard, then whispered, his voice barely audible. I know I don't deserve to ask this of you, Raito, but I want to come back. I want to repair our relationship. I want us to be a family again. Tadashi closed his eyes briefly, then searched my gaze. Raito, will you take me as your brother again? Tadashi. I wanted to hug him, but he couldn't move. I pulled his hand to my chest and held it tightly. Tears stung my eyes, my mouth tasted salty. I won't leave you, Raito. The words kept echoing in my mind. He tried hard to keep his promise this time. I choked back a sob, my chest ached. I looked at my brother with a genuine smile, my heart full of hope. Welcome home, brother, I whispered. I missed you so much.